Trying to figure out a woman by using your own male logic is like trying to read a book in a language you've never learned. You can see the words, but the meaning is a complete mystery. You're applying your own rules to a game that has an entirely different set of rules. What I'm about to share will change how you see every interaction you've ever had. It's not a pretty picture, but it's the reality of the underlying machinery. Consider this a warning. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. The core of the issue is that the male and female minds were shaped by evolution for fundamentally different jobs. Men were honed to build, hunt, and protect, to solve external problems. The female mind, however, was honed for a different kind of survival, securing resources and ensuring safety in a world where they were physically vulnerable. This isn't about good or evil. It's about ancient programming running in a modern world. I've seen it over and over. A man is left confused, saying, "But I gave her everything she asked for." And that is precisely the reason she left. When you handed over everything, you ceased to be a challenge. You became a puzzle she had already solved. The excitement was gone. The dynamic requires constant engagement and proof of your value. If you're not providing a challenge, you fade into the background. Think about arguments. A man's brain goes into fix-it mode, looking for a solution to the immediate issue. A woman's brain, however, lights up with emotion and memory, connecting the current problem to every similar past incident. You're focused on the single leaky faucet. She's remembering every time you were late, every forgotten anniversary, every small disappointment. You are in the present moment. She is in a tapestry of all your shared moments at once. So what is the unspoken process running in the background? It's a constant subconscious calculation. First, how does this situation make me feel in this very moment? Second, what can I gain from this? Time, attention, security, status. Third, how does this affect my standing compared to other women? This is a constant, quiet competition. Fourth, is there a better option available? This calculation isn't about malice. It's a relentless assessment of security and value. The way loyalty is understood is also different. For you, loyalty might mean standing by someone. For her, loyalty is something you must continuously earn by winning her attention and respect every single day. If you stop making the effort, she perceives it as a form of abandonment. Your comfort and satisfaction can feel like neglect to her. Consider this common story. A woman leaves a stable partner for being emotionally distant, only to then leave the attentive new partner for being too needy. It's not about finding a specific fixed amount of attention. It's about the thrill of earning that attention. She wants to feel like she is continually winning your interest, not that she has already captured it. This dynamic extends to her social world. When women connect, their cycles and even speech patterns can synchronize. But this isn't just cooperation. It's also a way of sizing each other up and establishing a hierarchy. Every shared confidence can become future ammunition, and every social gathering is a chance to compare. She doesn't just evaluate her life based on her own happiness, but on whether she is happier than her friends. She doesn't just want a good partner, she wants a better one. This is why the modern world, especially social media, has twisted relationships. Now you're not just being compared to the men in her immediate circle, but to a curated fantasy of perfect men from all over the world. This leads to the confusing paradoxes that drive men crazy. She asks for commitment but loses interest. When you become too available, she wants you to be open with your feelings, but may lose respect if you show vulnerability. This isn't a mistake in the system. It's a feature. Every request is often a test of your inner strength. Will you hold your ground, or will you crumble and give her exactly what she asked for, thereby failing the test? I knew a man whose girlfriend insisted he share his feelings, so he did, opening up about his deep fears and grief. Within a month, she was gone. She later confessed to a friend that she no longer saw him as a strong protector. She didn't actually want his vulnerabilities. She wanted the proof that she could access them if she needed to. Once the walls were down, the fortress was no longer valuable. This is all part of a deep-seated biological protocol to ensure the flow of resources. Historically, women needed to know their partner could provide and protect, especially during vulnerable times like pregnancy. Today, while women can often provide for themselves, the old programming still runs. Now the resources being tested are validation, attention, and emotional labor. If you listen to conversations in female-dominated spaces, the vast majority of the discussion revolves around managing relationships with men, how to get more from them, how to understand them, how they measure up. The focus on careers or personal passions is often a much smaller slice of the pie. A common method of influence is what you could call the guilt and fear system. Since physical dominance isn't an option, psychological leverage is used. First, a sense of guilt is established. You're not doing enough. You're not present enough. Then the fear of loss is activated, the threat of leaving or finding someone else. Soon, you're filtering every decision through this lens. Will this upset her? Will this make her leave? You are no longer running your own life. You are executing her code. This programming often starts early. Boys are frequently taught that love is earned through achievement, while girls are often told they are inherently deserving of love and special treatment. This sets up a dynamic where men are constantly seeking approval, and women are often in the position of granting or withholding it. In the modern dating world, this innate programming has been unleashed without the old social restraints. The result is that a small percentage of men receive the majority of female attention. Many women would rather share a high-value man than settle for an average one, leading many men to feel invisible. It's also why women often initiate breakups or divorces. Sometimes they make the relationship so difficult through withdrawal and drama that the man is forced to end it, allowing her to remain the victim. A woman's memory is also not a fixed record. It's often revised after a relationship ends. The ex-boyfriend she once loved is recast as a villain. The husband she adored becomes a narcissist. This isn't necessarily conscious deception. It's the mind's way of protecting her ego and justifying her choices. The bottom line is this: the female mind does not process the world the same way yours does. Concepts like honor, abstract loyalty, and truth are often secondary to emotional reality and strategic benefit. She doesn't love you for who you are at your core. She loves you for how you make her feel about herself. You are, in a sense, a tool, a multi-purpose instrument for emotional support, security, status, and validation. When a better tool comes along, or when you stop performing optimally, replacement is the natural outcome of this programming. You now have a choice. You can continue to believe in the fairy tale and remain confused by the results, or you can accept that you've been trying to use the wrong instruction manual for a complex machine. You can't change its fundamental design. The only thing you can change is your own approach. You can stop playing a game you don't understand by its hidden rules and start living by your own. Understanding this isn't about bitterness. It's about ending the frustration that comes from expecting a different outcome while using the same flawed logic.